tune in. We got a big show for you today. We got a lot to cover. We're going to jump right into the fantasy hot list. What's up, everybody? Welcome to week 10 of Sideline, where we are officially celebrating the Marine Corps birthday in honor of G. Greasy Gerard.
G. Greasy.
Let's just pretend he didn't do that. Right. And we got a new face with us today. This is one of my best friends, Karan Riley, former teammate of mine, former Atlanta Falcon, former Chicago Bear. Got another great show for you today. It was another interesting week in week 9 of the NFL. This week, we're going to start today with what we're calling these hot stats. Some of these guys that were on fire last week. A couple guys that have been good. A couple guys that came alive last week. First guy on the list, Phillip Rivers. He's been good all season. One of the best rated passers in the league. Yep. San Diego has one of the best offenses in the league. They haven't had a lot of wins, but as we typically know, San Diego are slow starters. They start the season slow, and then they gain momentum throughout the season. Let's talk about Phillip Rivers and that big week he had.
Yeah, 4 touchdowns is amazing. I love it. Thank you. You won me a game.
And he's still doing it without Vincent Jackson.
Vincent Jackson, who I really forgot about. I mean, you might as well sit out the season now, homie. You're done. I mean, thank you, but thank you for playing. Keep it moving.
Yeah, he definitely didn't do himself any favors by sitting out.
I definitely don't believe in the whole hold-out, sit-out situation when it comes to playing football and doing your things you're supposed to do. But Phillip Rivers has been playing lights out from the beginning of the season. Actually, he is statistically playing better than any quarterback in the NFL right now. And he is basically willing the San Diego Chargers to win because he's basically out there playing by himself because Antonio Gates has been down. As you said, Vincent Jackson's been tricking himself.
They don't have a running game, really.
He's holding out like he's Randy Moss or somebody great like that. I don't even know what his problem is. That's a whole different topic.
He's going to have a serious problem when he tries to come back and actually get in the mix.
There's not going to be a next year. That's the problem.
He's going to be gone.
Season of football, and he's going to be 2 years out of football. And me and you both know once you're 2 years out of football, it's very hard to get back into football.
No question.
I have a problem if I'm 2 years out of Madden.
Now, another guy on this list who I think he's a surprise. He might be a one-hitter quitter. Peyton Hillis from the Browns. He got off on my Patriots. I don't know about
this. He
didn't
get off. He put mud holes in them.
Yeah, he went crazy.
Hey,
but I'm not. But listen, is this guy? This guy's not a true tailback.
Well, it's always a thing called aberration. Like and then this guy's this week he had a good. I mean, everybody in the NFL is a great football player. Let's
no
not
question.
Get that confused. If you're on a roster in the NFL, you're one of the best football players in the world. And this weekend, Peyton Hillis has proved that the sun shines on the dog's butt someday.
Or that given an opportunity, anybody can be successful in the league.
How do you think Denver's feeling for trading him for Brady Quinn? How do you think they're feeling right now? Could they have used him instead of no-show?
Well, you know, speaking of that, whole nother topic, but some of those decisions that Josh McDaniels has made,
not working out.
So sure.
I think you might be hurting.
But here's another guy on this list that this whole season has been playing lights out. He's been under the radar because his team is terrible, but our man T.O.'s been having a great season, had another great game, 10 catches, 141 yards, and 2 touchdowns last week. I mean, this is a guy that every week is going to be one of the top producers in the league. Every game, every year, he just never quits.
And you know, T.O. has been showing up, which we said what's going to happen with the Bengals. You got one guy saying he Batman, one guy saying he's Robin, and we saw what happened to Robin. He got mad. He didn't get a catch to the third, fourth quarter. He just could not get open. I'm not understanding how a guy who used to be a first-string wide receiver, one of the elite receivers in the league, can't get open from a second backup cornerback.
Let me tell you this. I'm going to put it this way. They always say that a lot of times number 2 receivers have a hard time when they make the move to a team and become a number 1 receiver. But I'm going to tell you, it also goes the other way. Number 1 receivers have a hard time when they go into a situation where they now become the number 2 receiver. And whether or not Chad Johnson wants to admit it, he is the number 2 receiver, and he might be the 3rd option on that team because Jordan Shipley is the guy that Palmer looks to.
Already.
Yeah, and Carson Palmer on 3rd down and in the clutch is looking for Jordan Shipley more than he's looking for Chad Johnson.
So it's harder for a former number 1 to get away from a number 2 DB.
No, well, not necessarily.
Yeah, because there, I don't believe anymore that there really is any such thing as number 2 DBs. Like Karan said, every guy on the field, especially if you're a starter, is a legitimate, great football player.
Unless you play for the Cowboys.
Good point.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Good point.
I had to do that one.
Now here's another guy though. We talk about one-hitter quitters and guys who are kind of surprises. We called Jacob Tamme a one-hitter quitter a couple weeks ago.
We did.
And I think it's safe to say now that with Dallas Clark out, with Reggie Wayne not being his usual self, with Austin Collie out now,
he's out now,
with Anthony Gonzalez on IR, Jacob Tamme is all of a sudden the number
favorite.
one option in Indianapolis. Let's talk about Peyton Manning and how he's always liked to use that tight end.
Amazing.
Well, Peyton Manning, that's the reason why Peyton Manning is Peyton Manning. He has realized that as a quarterback, your tight end is always your safety valve. And that's the guy that no matter when something breaks down, your tight end is the guy that most time being a defensive player, that's the guy we end up forgetting about all the time. And that's the guy that quarterbacks usually forget about too. But Peyton Manning, he's too good, and he's always going to find his tight end, which he does with Dallas Clark, and now he's finding with Jacob Tamme. And he did a couple years ago with the guy in Minnesota that I played with. What was my man's name? The tight end. UTEC, Ben UTEC.
Yeah, Ben UTEC.
Ben UTEC was there.
Ben UTEC, a career that he should have never had in his whole life because of the fact that he threw the ball to him. And, you know, and with Peyton Manning, you usually got to be ready for the ball because he's going to find you if you're open, and he's going to take what the defense dictates. And a lot of times the defense dictates the tight ends.
Well, it's that age-old, debate whether or not a guy is a system guy or whether he could do it in any system. And I think that the Colts offense continues to prove that it's the system that produces great players there. Because when you can just stick in a guy off the practice squad, Blair White, a rookie, undrafted rookie off the practice squad, his first game in, he catches a touchdown, and now he's one of Peyton's go-to guys.
Yeah.
I think we're proving that this is a system, and that's another reason why you never see Indianapolis go make a big move in free agency, sign a big wide receiver, or try to sign a big tight end, because they know they can just keep plugging guys into the system.
You want to know what the system's called? Peyton Manning.
Literally.
The system is called.
But we can also agree that the tight end position has evolved over the years.
Yeah, the tight end position has really turned into more of a big wide receiver position.
Yeah, but what it is, it's just the guy that played receiver coming into high school, coming to college, gained a little bit too much weight, but he's still faster than most linebackers. So they move the tight ends. This is what happens.
And most
mismatch.
teams now have a blocking tight end and a pass catching tight end, a la Aaron Hernandez in New England. That guy's not going to block anybody.
Well, the game has changed over the years. Everybody's getting leaner and faster. And that comes back to the whole hit thing. Everybody's getting so much faster. So, I mean, it's going to change. It's going to evolve.
Well, now moving on, I want to talk about some players and some teams that have kind of disappointed us and impressed us. One guy on that list that I really want to talk about is a guy that we've talked about here on Sideline before, Matthew Stafford up in Detroit. Now, when this guy's healthy, he looks as good as anybody.
He's a star.
But we cannot get him off the bench with these injuries, man. He plays lights out last week, slinging the ball over the field, looking like, hey, this is a guy for them moving forward. Gets sacked on just a routine play.
Gets taken down by his
shoulder
ankles,
up, and he's
and
done.
now his shoulder is away from his body.
That makes me question his off-season workout training regimen and his weight room discipline, because some of the injuries you see this guy happening are forceful injuries, but at the end of the day, him falling on his shoulder on his own weight,
that shouldn't cause
not really being surprised.
No question.
You should not have throw his shoulder out of place if you're doing what you're supposed to do.
And was it the same shoulder that he already hurt?
It's the same shoulder.
Beginning of the year?
Now it is repeatedly the same shoulder. It's the same issue, but the bottom line is that, just like Karan said, it was his body weight. It wasn't like he got slammed and got driven into the turf by a big D lineman laying on him. This guy's getting to that glass jaw status, man, where they're going to just have to put a red jersey on him.
He's already there.
He's glass man.
He's in the right league if you're going to have a glass jaw quarterback, because you can't breathe on those guys.
In FFL. Right. Remember that. We ain't forgot him yet.
Back, just stay in the pocket, and if you do run, slide immediately, and you're fine. You're in the NFL, dude. I mean, I can play in the NFL right now, quarterback without a helmet.
Well, speaking of these disappointments, we're going to move on to some of these teams now. One of the teams that disappointed me last week, I'm not going to call them my team, but I'm going to say my Texans, because I am rooting for them.
I was going to say something.
He's a Schaub fan. That's Schaub's
I like Matt Schaub. And so the point is that the Texans, how did they give this game up? But before we get into that, listen, I'm getting so tired of this call about finishing the catch, because Arian Foster got robbed on another touchdown last week by the referees. He put the ball, he had control of the ball, took 3 steps, fell, and the ball on the ground. Come on, man.
Seriously? We talked about that.
We're talking about rules now.
Robbed on it. Last I heard, you cross the plane and it's a touchdown. You got to have control.
No question.
He had 100% control of the ball. Falls that serious.
So as much as I'm disappointed in the Texans, I'm disappointed in these referees and these calls that they're making. This is getting out of control, man.
Yeah, it is.
Once the NFL makes a standard or something that they deem to be what they're going to go with, then they will cut their nose despite their face for the rest of the dang time just to prove a point. Now, the NFL, the big wigs knew that was a catch and it was a run.
Come on, man.
Ball. But it was a little skeptical, just a little bit. So now they got to go ahead and say, in order to be fair, and we are the NFL, we're going to go ahead and, you know.
That's going to be a rule that they're going to have to fix in the offseason.
No,
that's going to be one.
It's caused enough noise that they're definitely going to have to address it.
Yeah, because you're getting one a week now, and it's getting ridiculous.
Now, I know you had one you wanted to talk about, a disappointment that was kind of chafing you a little bit. So
not chafing me, it's chafing you because those Patriots looked horrible. You've been claiming them, and
they're still 6-2, man. Come on.
And they lost to the Browns,
who are on a hot streak.
But Peyton Hill
who have a rookie quarterback who's been playing pretty damn good.
Yes, a rookie quarterback making his first start against a seasoned Super Bowl champion squad.
Okay, well,
really?
Look, so to my impressed list, I've got Colt McCoy as one of the guys that impressed me.
I have
completed balls to 7 different receivers, managed the clock well,
at my sheet.
And he handed the ball off really well to a guy who had a breakout performance.
Who ran over you like you were made of cheddar cheese because your defense is raggedy.
This was so much more about the Patriots' defense not playing that well than it was about what the Browns were really doing that well.
You had 14 points on offense. You were 2 out of 3 in the red zone. You only got to the red zone 3 times.
Hey, Tom Brady can have a bad day. Everybody can have a bad day.
Then the defense needs to have a better day. Because if Tom Brady's off, that defense needs to step up. We know that.
Okay, Mr. Know-It-All. Then who's on your impressed list?
You know who's on my impressed list, Colt McCoy. I was impressed that a rookie quarterback in his first start, beat the Patriots. I was very impressed by that.
First of all, that wasn't his first start. Let's get that clear.
Against the Patriots?
It was his first start against the Patriots.
It wasn't.
His first start against the quality team, okay?
Against the quality team.
No, but on a serious note, Colt McCoy, this kid has proven to be the real deal, and I didn't really like him coming out of college. I didn't think he had that strong of an arm.
I thought he was soft in college.
No question.
I thought he was soft.
But look at what he's doing. He can move, and he's playing behind an offensive line that's not the greatest, but he's shown that he can scramble, he can get out of trouble, he can run for first downs.
He has to scramble.
And he throws the ball pretty dang well.
And he's a quarterback in the NFL, so he can be soft. He can be all those things you guys named.
Because you can't touch him.
Because you can't touch him.
You can't touch him.
So yes, he can go out there with a damn skirt on if he wants to.
Hey, no interceptions in your first start against the Patriots.
That's
pretty
impressive.
good.
Well,
That's
the
good.
Patriots are a different
That's
level
impressive.
of game. Yes, I will say that's a very impressive game.
It's still the Patriots. No matter how bad they are, they're still the Patriots.
No question.
As long as you got Tom Brady on their team, they're still the Patriots.
I agree. Well, I'd love to see the Falcons win. And with that, that's going to do it here. Week 10 of Sideline coming at you every week with the hottest stats and fantasy news. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it. And as we always do, we're going to give our hosts one opportunity to give a final thought. I know, Gerard, you got a final thought.
He's not coming back
with the Marine Corps birthday and with Veterans Day.
Well, I have a lot of thoughts. I mean,
do you have a final thought, as you always do?
Well, it's a question. You know me and my questions.
Okay, let's find your final question.
If a candle factory burns down, does everybody stand around singing happy birthday? That's what I want to know.
That might be your worst ever.
I don't care.
Thought. Some of them have been pretty good. That one is. Oh no, I'm gonna put this in the same category
He's bigger than me, but
as this one. X chromosomes. That goes in the same category as X chromosomes.
Oh, okay, we couldn't start over. I'm not dealing with you.
And because I'm the host and because I can do things like this, I'm going to punish Karan and myself and not allow us to give a final thought because that one was so bad.
I think he needs to give one because he's new.
That was so bad.
He could talk about his old playing days.
Karan, do you have a final thought? Give us one word of inspiration, one word of motivation, or one word of complete debauchery like Gerard just gave us.
No, I'm not going to do the debauchery.
Can we talk about the hat?
Like Gerard's goatee.
Can we talk about the hat?
I'm going to talk about when is the NFL going to finally just put flags on everybody and just play flag football.
I want to talk about his Lawrence Fishburne hat he got behind his chair.
And you know me, I always like to give it up for one player who I enjoy watching the league. My final thought.
Saturday, I'm tuning in, everybody know. Jimmy Fair, what it do? You know that's the host. We on the 50-yard line, 50 more to go. My sideline TV on repeat. Win the Super Bowl and never leave my fantasy. And if you gotta work, well, you should call off. They not like pre-song shouted, they don't fall off. Here we go. It's time to tune in. 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 Here we go. Here we go. It's time to tune in. 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 It's time to tune in.